They make explosive plays. I think Coach Morris, Coach Craddock, really good coaches. Quarterback can make plays with his arm and his feet. He's good. Running backs, 2 or 3 of those guys can make some big plays. That's what they are. They make big plays. I'm sure that they're trying to find a little bit more efficiency, but it's gain of 3, gain of 3, gain of 30, and against good teams. They had over 400 yards against Alabama. All the receivers are good. The tight end 85 is really good. So to me, they've caught my attention. Again, I don't pay attention to records or anything like that. I just know that they put points up on the board against, LSU, against Alabama, against a lot of good teams.
Even though obviously all of your experiences on this side, when a coach comes in and tries to change something that's just such a total difference from one previous system to another,
yeah.
But you can see the progress during the year. Is that just a sign of good coaching?
On both offense and defense. Like I said, I don't know Coach at all, but I respect the job that he does. I know a lot of our coaches know Coach Craddock, the offensive coordinator. I know Coach Chavis. I know some of the defensive coaches. So I understand transition, and they went from Coach Bielema's philosophy, which was ground and pound, to being more balanced and utilizing tempo and utilizing a lot of formations. So to me, they're the offense, their scheme has caught my attention. I respect a lot, and a lot of their players make a lot of good plays.
How would you assess your team's focus this week?
Good, good. It's week 11 now or whatever, and it's the last home game for a lot of these guys. We have a lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball, so it hasn't been anything that it hasn't been in other weeks. They came out Sunday and made the corrections from the game, and had a good solid Tuesday practice, had a good solid practice today, and got to clean some things up tomorrow. But the 11 a.m. start might be a little bit different, but these guys will be excited and they'll be ready to go.
A lot of people made a lot of what you guys did to Alabama, probably played them better than any other team has played them all year. What do you guys make of that performance, though?
I don't know. It wasn't good enough to win, and we're on to Arkansas is really what it is. The guys did a good job rebounding, and we're on to the next game.
Talk of maturity on your defense as you go when you get down to the end of a long season, when a bunch of older guys can kind of help the younger ones that haven't ever played this long into a year to get through this time.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's true. Guys like Jeffrey or guys like Gary or guys like Jonathan or Mark, Jamal Peters, those guys should be able to. The end of the season does become a grind, and I've commented several times. That's the one thing that's impressed me. I've been at, whether it's at Tennessee or at Penn State or even Vanderbilt, I felt like at this time of the year you could see body language and you could see different things that looked like a team that was mentally and physically tired. I don't feel that way about this group. They come to practice, they come to meetings very spirited. I think they're very confident. I think they feel like they're one of the better defenses in college football, and they want to show it and prove it every day.
How important is it to kind of manage the emotions of a senior day event for those guys?
I don't know. It's a good question. What I do know is in the year that I've been here, Mississippi people are very proud people, and a lot of our seniors are Mississippi, student athletes. So I'm sure the last time going into Davis Wade Stadium will be emotional for them. I always try to talk to our players about approaching each task with passion rather than emotion. Because passion is a kind of a permanent, thing where emotion is up and down, in and out, and at the first sign of adversity, emotional people basically crumble. So I think they'll be passionate. I think they'll be excited, and like I said, I think you only have one senior day in college, and I know how I feel. I'd like to send these, the guys that are seniors, out the right way and provide them an opportunity to win and finish with a great, home record this season. Well, I guess that would probably make us at home 6-1, probably at home. Is that right? And these guys, if any group of players deserve it, it's these guys.
Coaches always talk about next man up, but last week, no Leo Lewis, no Jaquarius Landry's. But I thought Willie Gay played really well. I thought C.J. Morgan played really well. As a coach, is that something you take pride in? Like, hey, we talk about next man up, but we actually did it.
Yeah, for sure. And they should too. I think you guys all know Willie's a good player. Willie, Willie and Leo were both split in time, and it's not like Willie hadn't played before, but to step up and have 2 sacks and an interception and on a pretty significant stage, I think we're all very, very happy for him, and look forward to big things in the future for him. And CJ, that was really the first time he played significant minutes on a big stage like that, and he has the speed and athletic ability, to play against the good players. He just gotta, when he always says it, and he uses it well, when his head's where his feet are, meaning he's present and he's locked in, he's as good an athlete as there is really on the team. He does some things athletically even better than John or Mark, but, he doesn't, he needs that experience, and that was a wonderful and a great experience for him, and he played fine. He did a good job, and Chris Rayford also stepped in there and played at the safety position as well. So that's that unselfish attitude that our players have. I mean, to be without Landers, to be without Cole, to be without, we've been out with Marquise Spencer for a long time, to be without Leo like that. We missed Peters for some time. I mean, that's this group's mindset. Next guy up, and they do a good job.
You mentioned the seniors. Gary's been a captain for your defensive unit. Just talk about him being a steady influence on this defense.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why I don't know how good we've been on defense, but we've been consistent, I think, on defense. That's what I kind of like. There haven't been, it's been a really good game, it's been a bad game, it's been a good game. It's been pretty steady Eddie. And part of that's his leadership, John Abrams' leadership. But, Gary's is, I've been doing this a long time, and we somewhat recruited Gary when I was at Vanderbilt. I didn't know him very well before getting here, but you're not supposed to have favorites, but in the grand scheme of things, he's probably one of my favorite people I've ever been around. He's a really, really good player, and the scouts continue to ask about him. I mean, they ask about Tez, and they ask about Jeffrey, and they ask about John, and they ask about some of the other guys. But I think Gary, if he chooses to, will go on and have a great pro career, and if he doesn't to, hell, he might be the governor of Mississippi someday. You never know. I mean, he's that type of smart and that type of personality.